Hey friends, Steve Guttenberg here, and I am the audiophiliac. Do you remember Tower Records? Was it a big deal for you? It was a really, really, really big deal for me. When they came to New York City and opened their first store in Greenwich Village on 4th Street and Broadway, wow. I mean, it was a mind and ear opening experience. Just the sheer density of what was there, the deep catalog, the staff. The people that worked at Tower Records were unlike people that I knew from other record stores. Because first of all, there was so many of them. It was such a big store. It was on 3 or 4 floors, all in the beginning, all records, and then later on expanded to other things. It's vinyl and then CDs. But the thing is, if you had a question about something, this is pre-internet. It was harder to get questions answered. But at Tower Records, you ask somebody about a band or an artist or something, they would know. And if they didn't know, that guy over there would know. I mean, it was just thrilling to be around that much knowledge and passion about people who knew about music. So a few years after that first store in the Village opened, they opened a second store on 65th or 66th and Broadway. And I lived on the Upper West Side at that point, so I was really there all the time. I loved that store even more than the downtown store because it was close, but it had a slightly different vibe. It had an Upper West Side vibe to it. It was right near Lincoln Center, so it had a really, really huge classical music section, a huge opera section, even by Tower Records stand, like a whole floor of classical music. That's kind of amazing to think about now. So one of my friends, George, worked at the downtown store and actually in a separate building, the Tower Annex, which was for cutouts and used records and stuff. And we used to go after work at the hi-fi store Sound by Singer, go and hang out with George, and he would put music aside for us, me and my friends, that we would buy. And he was turning us on to stuff. I got to get this, got to go real fast. I mean, it was just amazing. George was a great guy, and he loved that job. It was like the perfect job for him. So I love Tower Records. I really, really did. I miss it so because there's nothing else. Well, actually, there is something that's sort of like it. There's a store in Williamsburg, whose name I can't think of, but I'll put it in the thing if I can't think of it soon, which is relatively big by 21st century standards. It's a great store. I'm so sorry I can't think of the name of it right now, but it sells only new records. Last time I was there, more or less evenly split between LPs and CDs, and it's a great place. But it doesn't feel like Tower Records. So whatever it is, like 4 or 5 years ago, Colin Hanks, Tom Hanks' son, was making a documentary that you may have seen or heard of called All Things Must Pass. And it's about Tower Records, but it's really about the people who worked at Tower Records. That's the real thing, because I think when Colin was a kid, he worked at Tower Records. So he had a special affinity for other Tower Records employees. There's a brotherhood and a sisterhood among them about people who worked there. So he makes this incredible documentary, but he can't finish it because there's a lot of music in it, and he needs money to pay for the rights to make this film. So he started a Kickstarter program, and it wasn't going anywhere, and I heard about it, and I contacted him. I wrote about his Kickstarter, put him over the top. He made his goal, and the movie came out eventually. He said he was going to put me in the credits. He didn't, so Colin, if you ever see this, I'm not pissed. Don't worry about it. But it's a beautiful movie because it is about those people, those passionate people that worked at Tower Records. And the interview with Solomon, the guy that owned Tower Records, he seemed like a great guy. He wasn't in it to become a super rich guy, which I'm sure he did become, but the people he hired, all he really wanted from them was that they show up for work, that they don't steal from him, and that was pretty much it. If they wanted to go in the back room and have sex or smoke a J, he didn't really seem to care. He just wanted people who were good with music. That was what they needed to be. And I think he succeeded on that story. There's near the end of the movie, they show him at the Tokyo Tower Records, which I think was still open, maybe still is today, and the people, they were like meeting and bowing and scraping to meet the great Solomon who started Tower Records. It's a beautiful movie because it is about people who just sort of came together, who really didn't have any music business or record business experience. It was just that love of music that kept that thing going for as long as it did. It's really sad that it's not there now, or there's nothing really like it. I guess the closest thing is Amoeba in LA. I think it's in LA. And I was there once, and I heard that Amoeba's not going to be around much longer, so that's kind of sad. But, okay, times change. But there are still record stores that mostly sell used records. And if you have a local one that you really love, please tell us about it in the comments section below. If you were a big fan of Tower Records or Amoeba or any other record store, yeah, tell us about it. And if you like these videos, please come back. There's a new one every day. Check out my CNET blog at cnet.com/audiophiliac. And come back tomorrow. There'll be another video right here in this spot. See ya. Bye.